Hey, True Believers, Englentine here with a quick review of Superman number 7. I'm going to make this as quick as possible, I guess. Okay, first let's start off with the covers, I guess. Yeah, right there. This is kind of in the comic book. I'm not a big hater of the cover. It's, you know, Lois in the suit. This has nothing to do with it. I don't know. I mean, I'm trying to gather my thoughts. You know, because I just finished reading the comic, and right now it's kind of like a white, seething rage going on in my skull right now. I understand Brian Michael Bendis is horrible. I used to actually think Brian Michael Bendis was not all that bad. You know, when Ultimate Spider-Man first came out, and I was like, wow, this guy's pretty cool. Yeah, I like that. I like the way they stretched out the story and made us care for Uncle Ben, and then we find out that that's all the man knows how to do is just fucking stretch out a story for endless time and just mess up. It's, you know what? Okay, so Superboy's there, and Clark's like, "Oh my God, what happened?" And he's like, "No, I lived this. This is my life. I am now 17 years old." He thinks he's around 17 years old. And they're still trying to find out if, oh, well, can it be reversed or something. You could tell that's in the thoughts. You know, kudos to the artist for being able to convey that. So he takes John Kent over to see Lois Lane. Now, this is the scene. I want you to look at these pages right here. Okay? Now, granted, he says, Lois, and she kind of turns it on because what the heck, why not? And then, of course, he has to cover Jonathan Kent's eyes. Now, this is very important. I need you to look at this page. Study this page. Know this page. Because this is the one that follows. Where the top 3 panels are continuations, but then all of a sudden we're on a balcony, and Superman, instead of holding on to Jonathan Kent, is now holding on to Lois, and Jonathan Kent is now in the on the balcony, kind of looking like the Superman movie there. Alrighty then. Yes. Wow, caring has gone out the frickin' window, hasn't it? So anyway, they talk to him, and he's like, "Oh my gosh, I got to tell you my whole story, and you wouldn't believe it." And he's like, "Hey, you know that?" And what's really funny is he does this bit where he's saying to them what he's saying to the audience. Hey, remember when we did this? Let me tell you about that. Remember this? Let me tell you. You know, it's kind of one of those commercials where 2 people working for the same company are walking down the hallway, and one guy is telling them about the company. They're like, "Yeah, I know, I was there." So it comes off as pretty ignorant. And you find out that that little spaceship that was in the kitchen is not the ship. It's actually the shuttle that goes to this huge spaceship right here. And then trouble ensues. So he's like, "Hey, make yourself comfortable. I've got all sorts of living spaces. You can even make your room feel like Earth if you wanted to. Lois, go on ahead. All the comfort you need." This is important. You need to understand that he offers her all the comfort she needs, and she can make it even feel like Earth because of some envirometer or something like that. I'm making that up. And I have no respect for this book, by the way. So she has this, and she finds some clothing that would, because he says here, wear this suit. It's the House of L thing, because the space is actually hard on a human body. This is nothing we've heard before, because we've had human superheroes without invulnerability flying around in spaceships for a long time, unless for some reason spandex has some sort of spacefaring quality to it we haven't been told about. Anyway, he fights the Dominators. Jor-El fights the Dominators with John Kent, and she's there. They end up going to another. Oh, yeah, by the way, I do like John's reaction to her wearing the Superwoman outfit. But they go to this planet, and they see the crest of L. Superman's well known throughout the galaxy, so people start to expect her to do some miracles and help out and everything. And they get into some more problems where John basically, oh yeah, they're slavers. And John saves them. So Lois says, "Oh wow, there's problems here, and I can't fight with you, so I'm going to go home now." Yeah, that was the catalyst for Lois Lane going home. Oh, there are slaves here and there is fighting here. Therefore, I shall not be beside my son. That was the catalyst for Lois Lane leaving. You have trouble, and since I do not have superpowers, I am going home and leaving my child behind. I am leaving now because you are my kid and you have problems. I'm gone. Where I will tell my husband that I do not want to be really married, just kind of married. Holy shit, did Brian Michael Bendis write Lois Lane to be a douche? Seriously. That's how she's being represented by, my head hurts. My head hurts just thinking about how Brian Michael Bendis has ruined the character of Lois Lane. Seriously, this is the way you see her? This is what you do? Well, you got problems, John. I'll see you later. Bye-bye. Okay, I know that's not Lois Lane's voice, but you get the frickin' picture, don't you? How? How could somebody greenlight this shit? Who? What does Brian Michael Bendis have over the head of Dan Didio? Or is it Didio? I don't give a fuck, because whoever greenlit this it needs to go. It's done. Bye-bye now. Let us just pretend that the last 6 months, 7 months of Superman didn't happen. It is amazing how horrible this book is just for how wrong they get the characters. Honestly. Is this where you want to be when Jesus comes? Brian, this is it, right? You wrote this and went, haha, I've got a fun idea. And I could see it. I could see exactly what you did. Well, I know what's a good idea. Let's get Jor. First of all, bring him back Jor-El. That's not his mistake, but you know what? It was a mistake. It shouldn't happen. Then it's like, oh, well, we're going to have him go off with Jor-El, but I can't have Superman or Lois Lane there, so I've got to come up with the dumbest reasons for them to abandon their child. And then we get this. Then we get Lois Lane literally saying, you've got problems, I better go. Lord in heaven, can you believe that that was the freaking reasons? I cannot, it just, my head is aching because of this comic. Because of the fact that not only this, but DC just says, you know what, Brian, here, take more. Take more. You deserve more. Why? What has he done? What has he done in the past, say, 10 years that has warranted this kind of fucking freedom over a beloved character? This kind of, that should not, you know, just, I swear to God, it just shouldn't. Somebody needs to be protecting these characters in the offices of DC Comics. There should be, I know that in all honesty, it's Dideo's job. But somebody needs to protect them from Dideo. And it's horrible. It's bad because we're seeing it all throughout. Heroes in Crisis is another one. Heroes in Crisis is another one where you're going, what are you guys doing to these characters? But it doesn't seem like they care. It does not seem like anybody's paying attention anymore. It's like it's kind of like over at Marvel, where the only thing that matters is the last trade paperback. That's what they're writing for anymore. That's why Captain Marvel's on the 5th iteration in 5 years. Well, actually 6, but who's counting? Me. I'm counting because I actually did a video where I looked that up. Point being is they don't care about continuity anymore, just the particular story they're working on, which means you don't care about character continuity anymore, which means you can have Dick Grayson going, I'm Rick, y'all, and you have Lois Lane saying, you know what, I'm going to abandon my kid and try to get my husband to be my boyfriend again, and just ignore everything that's been good about these books in the last 3 years. I mean, Rebirth really kicked DC back up a notch, and this is what we're getting. And I'm sorry, guys. This book broke me. This book is so thick and pissed me off. I said I'm not going to cuss. I don't want to cuss anymore, you know? Because I've been taking a shellacking on the views anyway. I need that algorithm in my favor. But damn it, if this book didn't almost get me to do so again. It's horrible. If you haven't gotten it yet, it's a bad book. It's a horrible book. That's the short review. I know I've been ranting on for 10 minutes now, but damn it, it's a bad book. Brian Michael Bendis has hurt me and hurt Superman. And what's worse, he's hurt Lois Lane to the point where, who is she anymore? She's not the character we know. Anyway, that's my opinion. What is yours? Have you read Superman 7? Let me know in the comments below what you thought about it. Also, if you like this video, want to see more, click like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell. That's what YouTube cares about these days. Also, this is the way, you know, I'm trying to make a living this way. So if you don't mind going over to Patreon or to Ko-Fi. Ko-Fi is not Patreon for those who have a problem with Patreon's politics. They have a follow or just a tip jar. If you want to drop $1 in the till, helps keep the lights on, helps keep making videos for you. I'd like to thank everybody who's already done that. And to everyone, all of the true believers, thank you very, very much for watching.